I never thought a parking spot would lead to a battle that changed an entire neighborhood, but that's exactly what happened. I owned a small property right next to an HOA-controlled subdivision. Unlike the rest of the residents, I wasn't part of their association, and I was fine with that. What I didn't know was that my deed included a tiny strip of land that stretched across the front of their neighborhoods, the very road they used every single day. One morning, I came home to find my usual parking spot blocked with a shiny new HOA sign. It read, "Reserved for HOA board use only." I thought it was some kind of mistake, so I knocked on the board president's door. Instead of explaining, she crossed her arms and told me, "This is HOA property. You can't park there anymore." That's when I pulled out my paperwork. My property line, as drawn up decades earlier, extended over the road itself. In fact, the HOA had been using my land as their main street without ever realizing it. When I showed her the documents, she turned pale but quickly recovered, insisting their community rules overruled any ownership claim I had. That was the wrong thing to say. I went straight to the county offices and confirmed what I already suspected. Not only did I own the road, but the HOA had never secured legal easements for their development. In other words, the entire neighborhood's access point was technically mine at first. I considered just reclaiming my parking space and leaving it at that. But after weeks of harassment notes on my car, fines taped to my door, and even a tow thread, decided enough was enough. I hired a lawyer and officially recorded my property rights with the county. Then I sent the HOA a notice. The road was now private, and without a proper agreement, it would be declared unbuildable for future improvements. The panic set in fast. Home buyers backed out of contracts, property values tanked, and suddenly, the same board members who mocked me were begging for negotiations. Their reserved parking sign vanished overnight. In the end, the HOA had to pay me a hefty settlement just to secure legal access to their own homes. All I wanted was to park where I'd always parked. They turned it into a war. They thought they could bully me with fake rules. But in the end, the actual land, a dusty old property deed, proved who really owned the road. *. For more interesting and heart-touching stories, hit the subscribe button now.